Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have this position. It's white to move and win, so you can pause the video to find the answer on your own. Okay, so now the entire idea of this puzzle is to try to checkmate the black king or to win the bishop, because once we are able to win the bishop, two pieces and the king versus the king and a pawn, this is a winning endgame. It's a theoretical winning endgame. Okay, so what are we going to do in order to win the bishop? Because this is number one, either to checkmate the king or to get the bishop. Okay, now we start with the first move, that's a check. The king goes here, and now it might look very simple, like we play knight to c5, and it's a checkmate here or here. Black cannot stop both of them with the bishop. But after this move, black can just move this pawn, and after a check, it can just run. You might say, well, king here, and the king is really stuck. No, we cannot give any check to the king because the bishop is a light square and the knight cannot do any checks. This pawn will continue to push, and it's going to be a draw. Okay, so the first move is correct, which is a bishop to c6 check. After the king moves, it is not knight to c5, it is knight to e5. The point of this move enables us to threaten the bishop. This move doesn't. Now you're going to see how. So right now we are threatening knight to d7, and this is a checkmate, right? The king can now move. Black has two options, either to play bishop to e6 to stop this check, or to push the pawn. Now let's see what happens if you play bishop to e6 first. Okay, so what can we do now? Well, there's a very important square that we really need to use, and that is this c6 square. The bishop is not really good here. We need the knight to give a check. So now we need to move the bishop. But if, for example, if we move the bishop here, what we want to play a check, right? The king is forced to go to a light square, meaning we're going to have a discovered check, and we're going to win the bishop. But the problem with bishop to e4, that black will not push the pawn and lose the game because of a check. He cannot go here because of the knight. So this check, king goes here, and we win the bishop. Now this is winning when we try to stop the pawn, and we can stop the pawn. But the problem with bishop to e4, that black can go bishop to h3, and now this move no longer works, because when we're going to have a discovered check, we cannot win the bishop. So that's why whenever black plays bishop to e6, stopping this check with the knight, we play bishop all the way back to g2. They might say, well, what is happening here? I mean, well, the bishop here is stuck. Yes, it can move whenever it wants, but it is stuck. We're going to win the bishop. Well, first of all, he cannot move the king. So if he moved the pawn, then we have a check and discovery, and we win the bishop. Okay, what happens if he, like, moves here? Well, check, king moves anywhere, doesn't matter. Discovery, we win the bishop. The same thing applies to the square. Check, king moves, discovery, we win the bishop. He cannot go here, cannot go here. And if he went back, then the same thing. Check, here, check, we win the bishop. And if black decided to go back, bishop to c8, we still have a check, king moves, a discovery, defended by the king as well. So the king moves, we take, and this is a winning. It's a winning endgame because this pawn can't be stopped. We're going to see how. But the plan here is very simple. The bishop is stuck. Once we play bishop to g2, and we can have it because of a check, then a discovered check, we win the bishop. Okay, so after this check, king moves here, and this knight to e5. But what if black did not play bishop to e6? What if he pushed the pawn? It doesn't matter if h6 or h5. Sorry, if a6 or a5. a5 is better so that the king has more square to run. So what can we do now? Well, the same thing is needed. We need this square to give a check, and then the king will be forced to go to a light square, and then with the discovery, we win the bishop. And then we have to deal with the pawn pushing, and then it will be a winning endgame. So now, what if we play bishop to g2? Now, this is a draw. This is a draw, yeah. The reason This move is a draw because black here in this position can save his bishop. Remember what we want? We want to play a check, force the king to a light square, discovery, we win the bishop. But the problem with this move, black can go here. Black can go to h7, and now after this check and the king goes here, there is no discovery that wins us the bishop. That's why bishop to e4 is the move. Yes, we still want this check, we still want this discovery. It cannot go here, cannot go there, nor there, because if a check, discovery, win. Nor here, check, discovery, win, and nor here, check, discovery, and win. So black might say, well, okay, let's run the king, let's escape. Well, this is also going to be a bad move because of king to c7. And if black decided to run away, trying to run, we have a check, king moves up, knight to c6 check, king moves to here, and then after bishop to a6, black cannot do anything. He can push the pawn, he can put the bishop here. This will be checkmate in one no matter what. Okay. What else? What else can we play? After this position, and after the king here, black can also play bishop to c4, sacking the bishop, because once we take, can try to run. But then I think we can stop him by playing this move, and then the king has to move back or to lose the pawn. And after he goes here, this is also winning. So, have we looked at all the possible moves here? Well, let's see. The entire idea here is just to try to win the bishop, and once we win the bishop, two pieces are enough to win the game. So what can black play as a final move that we did not look at? Bishop to e6 still loses because of a check, king here, discovery, king goes here, takes. And now, okay, now we're going to look at how are we going to stop this pawn. So first of all, we need the king. It's not really important, but we still need the king to get in here. And after he tried to push the pawn, all we have to do is just place the bishop here so that the king can never defend the pawn. The king has to run around to defend the pawn that's going to promote. So for example, he plays king here standing in front of his pawn, king there. Then we have knight to c5 attacking his pawn. And if he decided to push it, then we try to get the king closer. He plays this, then we have a check. The king's forced to move away. And it doesn't really matter where the king goes. He can never push the pawn. King here, king tries to go there. There will be no promotion. You play king to d3. And if you play this, we have a check. King moves anywhere. We take here. And then this is a theoretical win for white. Yes, it is winning bishop and the knight versus the king. You just have to find the right way to actually get the black king, towards the corner and checkmate the king. Thank you for watching.